Welcome back to the No Fun Channel. I'm Felix, and let me start off by saying my daughter graduated high school, and she's getting ready to start college this August. And yeah, anyone who has kids understands. Or anyone who has kids and love their kids understands. Uh, my wife, a little bit. My wife, in some ways, is getting in the way of our daughter Laurie. I understand she wants to help her daughter and do for her things. What's funny is when we first had our daughter, a lot of things my wife was just like, "Well, no one told me." I said, "Yeah, doesn't mean it was right. You can help your daughter. You can tell her things, and that changed her perspective. And now it's like she's gone from one extreme to the other, and it's like our daughter needs to learn how to do this. From day one. I've always I've helped her out, but I always try to encourage her to figure out things on her own as well. At least try to do it on your own first, and then ask for help. And or if it's something you've tried or something you think you probably won't be able to do. It's okay to ask for help. Just as you ask for help, make sure you're learning as well. But yeah, it's so weird to know my daughter is going to college and she's going to culinary school, wants to be a baker. So I told her, if you decide you want to open your own bakery, I'll pitch in and try to help you. So I think it's going to be interesting. I hope she succeeds in life, And one thing I've taught her is if you get a credit card, get one credit card. At most, maybe two. That's it. Don't get any more credit cards than that. And try not to use them. And right now I told her no credit cards. Don't get any credit cards. Because you don't have a job, don't get any credit cards. So there's that. And yeah, it's just, of course, then there's all the rain that's been going on. It finally stopped. It was raining earlier, and it's just like, just go away. I don't want any rain, but it won't go away. Hasn't been any more flooding, any major flooding around here, thankfully. And hopefully it stays that way. Sump pump seems to be working, so that's good. But all these changes that are going on are just so much. More good news. I finally finished Squid Games. I was putting off watching Squid Games, and then finally sat down and we binge watched it, and it was good. We enjoyed it. One of the things I didn't like was the ending. I mean, just like the original, everyone dies. So spoiler, in this one, literally everyone dies except for a baby that gets born within the game. A woman was pregnant when the game started, and she gave birth in the game, and the baby took her place when she got killed. And the head guy, he protected the baby, 4, 5, 6, and then he kills himself so the baby could win the game. And it's just like, I don't know if I would have done that. But there was so much going on. And then rumors of it coming to America. So I'll believe it when I see it. Mainly because so many times stuff starts and never happens. I think it'll be interesting if they are able to pull it off, because some of the people from the original are coming over. So this is their chance to really break out in America if that's something they're looking to do. But the way Squid Games took off and became an international hit is just awesome. I think it's rare over here to have an international show or a show from another country really take off like that. So it was definitely something special. I think thanks to the internet and Netflix and streaming services, we get more stuff like that now. We can watch more foreign shows because they get dubbed. I don't know if you can hear the siren going past. But yeah, it's I think it's because I actually got into K-dramas thanks to Netflix, actually. Me and my wife would watch a couple K-dramas. Haven't done it in a while. A couple of them we watch with the subtitles, but I can't do that anymore because of my eyes. They're not what they used to be, and I can't keep up with, like I'm trying to read what's going on there. It used to be I could do subtitles and watch it at the same time. I can't do that anymore. It would get to the point where I could read the subtitles and it was almost like I could understand the language, if that makes any sense. I started to kind of, like, there'd be times I realized I wasn't reading the subtitles, but I was following along. I knew the story. So I can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Oh, funny thing though, I saw something pop up on Yahoo News talking about Lorenzo Lamas, and the way it was phrased, it made us think he passed away. He was just getting divorced for the 6th time, and I was just like, who puts a headline like that? It looked because it looked just like they put his name, his age, and all this stuff like how they do for the death notices. It's like, what the hell, man? Come on. But I guess really what I wanted to get into today is being an advocate for yourself. I talk about this on another podcast, but I'm still getting some test results coming in, and so far it looks like there is definitely something wrong with my body, and I knew this a long time ago. The problem was convincing the medical professionals to take it serious. And pretty much, I felt like I had to browbeat the medical provider to get me to go see it, get me referred to an oncologist, not oncologist, endocrinologist, and they ran some tests, and so far everything's coming back that there is something really wrong with me, like I thought. And for me, I believe there's some factors of why they wouldn't take me serious. One is because of my weight, and two, I'll be honest, I hope it wasn't a factor, but my skin color. Obviously, the ways, well, skin color is going to be really the first thing they see when it comes to me, and the weight. But overall, they weren't listening. Like the first doctor I had when I started going back to the doctor, she kind of listened, but then she left. But then the next person wasn't really listening. I kept trying to tell her I don't want to just keep taking pills. I want to know what's causing this and see if it's fixable. If it's fixable, I want to get it fixed. And so finally, I got her to refer me to an endocrinologist. Or was it the first doctor, actually? No, I think that was the first doctor. And that went south. The endocrinologist didn't listen. He dismissed me, just kept talking about my weight. I was like, I think the weight is part of what's going on. And then I didn't go back for like a year, and I got a new medical position in that time. And I kept trying to, finally I decided I'm going to go back, let me go to someone different. And I did. And this time the woman listened. And it turns out the doctor who I thought wasn't listening noted in the chart that there may be a hormonal imbalance. It's like, you could have told me. You could have told me that there was something, but you didn't. And here, I thought you were just a straight up, something, sorry. Something rubbing on my leg. It's a cord off or something. It freaked me out. But it's like, I thought you were just, he was a idiot, in my opinion, in the sense that he does not know how to talk to people. And like, this is stuff he could have informed me of, and he didn't. And that would have changed my view, and I probably would have went back, because that would also made me ask questions about getting tested. But no, he just changed my medication to better help me, and it's just like, and so so this time when I go back, I have a female doctor, and she immediately realizes, I don't want to just take pills. I want to know what's causing it. And she says that, you want to know what's causing it. I was like, yes. Literally brought a tear to my eye. And she ordered the test. And so far, all these tests are coming back not good. That there's something wrong. And my wife thinks they might reorder the test because the doctor who finally got it wanted me to stop taking this medicine for a month. And it wasn't a month. She left, unfortunately. She was actually there for 2 more days after she saw me. And the new person was like, let's get you looking into it. Let's go ahead and run those tests and see what it looks like. And so far, they're all over the place. And my wife thinks they might run the test again to see, so they have comparison numbers. But it's like, if they just listened in the first place, could have avoided all this. And it's quite possible some of this may not be reversible. Now, I'm not blaming all my medical issues for my weight gain, but it played a factor. Actually, I take that back. I can actually blame it because it affects your mental health. All the things that are going wrong can actually affect your mental health. Can cause depression, fatigue, and everything else. And some of the things can cause weight gain and weight loss. I got the weight gain side of it. And because of all the factors together, it's also hard to lose weight. I can't lose weight. I literally starved myself to the point I had severe hunger pains. Like I was hungry and I fought them. But no, I got plenty of fat to burn off. And I only dropped 5 pounds. And it's like, and I did that for a while and the weight would not come off. I was working out, starving myself. I was literally weak at the gym from starvation, still pushing myself. And the weight won't come off. Like originally when I started losing weight, I was 388 and I just changed my diet and that dropped me down to the 360 range. Now I fluctuate between 360 to 370. Sometimes I go back into the 370, but I cannot break the 360 barrier. I can't get below 360. And I keep cutting back, starving myself. Like I'm even going as far as having these little juice barrels as my lunch. You know, there's no nutrition in them. And I can't lose the weight. I got headaches as a result of it. I've been trying to lose the weight. It will not come off. And another thing that got me thinking is, as a result of my weight, you know, people won't listen to you when you're fat. It's a major reason why a lot of fat people will not go to the doctor, because doctors won't listen to lose the weight. They won't run any tests. They won't look at you for anything. They just say, lose the weight. And a lot of times the weight has nothing to do with it. Or worse yet, the weight is a byproduct of your sickness. And I have seen that on TV shows, not just like, when I say TV shows, I don't mean like medical dramas. I mean like documentaries where people kept saying there's something wrong. And no one will listen. And then finally, one doctor listens. They run a test and discover, oh, you have this. And they're like, oh. And sometimes there's like medicine you can take. And next thing you know, the weight starts coming off. Or there's a surgery you can get. And next thing you know, the weight starts coming off because they fixed the issue and it's easier for them. Or there was one issue where a guy kept saying he's got pain in the back. Pain. And they thought it was his weight. But he gained the weight as a result of the pain in his back because he couldn't move. And finally, a doctor examined it, and it was like some kind of nerve damage that didn't easily show up. It wasn't like he didn't do like a blood test. It was like an x-ray, but a very specific type of x-ray where they looked at a certain area. And it was mainly in his hips. Basically, I think it came down to he was just out of alignment almost. Going to a chiropractor wasn't to fix it, but they had to do surgery, and they kind of like, I wish I could remember exactly what happened. I feel like they like stretched his spine or something. There was something they had to do, like get him aligned, and they had to do surgery. And once he was aligned, the pain went away. So yeah, sometimes the answer is not always straightforward. You know, my medical professional, she just kept giving me pills, adjusting how much I should take of it and all that stuff. Wouldn't run the test. So fine, I just kept speaking up, and to the point where she realized she needs to do this. And then my potassium was doing good. Blood pressure was okay for the most part. And she said, after I get a test done, and she sends, now this is before I go to the endocrinologist. I had the specialist scheduled for a long time. She's like, oh, since all this is good, you don't need to go to the specialist. Like, I just ignored her. And I immediately found a new doctor. I was like, yeah, I'm done. We're done. Because you're clearly not listening. And I'm tired of feeling like I have to argue with you, fight with you, to get you to understand that I don't want to just keep popping pills. And here's the thing that also the woman told me at the endocrinologist meeting or appointment, that most likely there's something wrong with my adrenaline gland. And what's funny is I was just looking at my potassium, trying to figure out what could be causing it, and it leads to the adrenal gland. And all this other stuff that they test me for, me and my wife and my mom even have been reading up on it, and it all points to the adrenaline gland. Something's wrong with your adrenaline. So there are basically 3 options. One, if I'm a surgical candidate, they go in, and if there's a tumor, they remove the tumor. The other option, they go in, they remove my adrenaline glands. There's 2 of them. And the other option, I basically have to keep taking pills. But once we know definitely what it is, probably would adjust the pills accordingly, because all these things that are wrong with me also make me resistant to blood pressure medicine, which while the nurse, well, she's a nurse practitioner, I keep saying medical professional, that's why she keeps adjusting my meds, trying to find the right combination. And now, if I have an actual diagnosis, it should make it that much easier to get me on the right stuff. If I have to keep taking pills, I'm hoping, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm hoping there's a growth on my adrenaline gland, because I do not want to have to keep taking all these pills. But yeah, they affect all these things, all these different issues. It all comes back to hormones. My hormones are completely out of balance. I just got a test result today, and it's like, it's all messed up. I'm really low in one area and really high in another, like really high. And it's way higher than it should be. I forget what the thing was called, but yeah. And then cortisol is really low, and that affects your mood and your weight and your blood pressure. And like I said, a lot of the other ones also affect your weight, your mood, and your blood pressure. And it's just like, no one ordered these tests. It took me meeting the woman who I was going to go. Sometimes it's all it takes. You meet one person who realizes what you're trying to achieve, and they get you there. And hopefully, because one thing it talks about, side effects of all these things is fatigue, and I have a lot of fatigue. I'm always tired. And I was just thinking, if they go in, best case scenario, I'm hoping, please, medical gods be on my side. Let there be a growth. They go in, they remove the growth, and I feel better. I don't know what I would do with all that extra energy. I just hope that they go in, they find it, and they fix me up. That's what I'm shooting for. But back to being fat, it's like, there are people who haven't gone to the doctor in years because they're fat and they're tired of being told to lose the weight. There are people who really can't lose the weight, and there could be a medical condition involved as to why they can't lose the weight. And it happens more than you think. People not losing weight, and finally, they find someone who listens, and like I said, they go in and they find, oh, there is something wrong. The problem is the medical professions don't listen. Well, they listen, but they don't comprehend. So, if a medical professional sees this, you need to listen, you need to comprehend, and you need to understand. That's the problem. You can say all day long that you're listening, but you're not comprehending or understanding what your patient's telling you. It'd be nice if you did. Because the truth is, you're killing us when you don't. When you don't listen and comprehend and understand us, you're actually killing us. Because you're discouraging us, you're making us feel stupid, you're making us not want to go to doctors. And as a result, because of your inability to listen and understand and comprehend, we've stopped going to the doctor and things have gotten worse. And that's basically what happened to me, because every time I felt like I was going to doctors, nobody was listening. But finally, someone's listening and they disappear on me. But yeah, hopefully it turns out, like I said, that it's fixable. But yeah, it seems like if you're fat, you got to scream at the top of your lungs to get anyone to listen to you, to get you to believe that, hey, the fat is a symptom of what's wrong with me. I wasn't always fat. And there were stories where people were athletic in school, and then in college, all of a sudden something happens and they can't figure it out. They can't lose the weight. They're fatigued. They're tired. They're all over the place with their emotions. And here it could be some kind of hormonal imbalance, and which can be fixed in a lot of cases if diagnosed correctly. And then, God forbid, you're black and fat. They really don't want to listen to you. And if you're black, fat, and a woman, oh, forget about it. You're probably going to die. They're going to let you die. It's the sad truth. So yeah, unfortunately, in the medical industry, if you're fat, you gotta scream loud. If you're a woman, you gotta scream twice as loud. If you're black, if you're a black man and fat, you gotta scream 4 times as loud. And if you're a woman, God forbid, a black woman, God forbid you're a fat black woman, you gotta scream 1,000 times louder. Just being a black woman, you gotta scream 1,000 times louder to get medical people to listen to you. And it's sad. You think in this day and age that wouldn't be a thing, but it's still a thing. Race still plays a huge part in the medical industry. And it's so sad that it does. It's like, could you please stop? Yes, there are some slight differences, but not enough for you to ignore me. You're literally costing me my life, and I want to live. But yeah, I can't believe I'm praying for stuff to be wrong. But so far, everything is pointing to my adrenaline gland. Every test that they run, and when we research that, it points to the adrenaline gland. So there is definitely something wrong with my adrenaline gland. I hope it's fixable. I hope they can go in and remove it. I'm just thinking, what if they go in and discover all this fat are fucking tumors? And just remove all the tumors. I dropped 20, 30 pounds or 100 pounds. I would not argue. I'm like, it was all tumors? Awesome. Yay. But if it turns out it's tumors and all this weight is a tumor, hey, I would not have a problem with it. Honestly, I wouldn't. It's like, hey, that's an easy way to lose 100 pounds. You know what I mean? But I was praying so hard. At first my wife didn't understand why I was wanting stuff to be wrong with the test. So why everyone? I was like, you were in there. Didn't you hear what she said? I don't want to pass these tests. I want to fail these tests. These tests I actually want to fail on every single one. I want them all to be bad for the most part. And so far, so good. So I'll probably be getting cut up here. Just a matter of when will I be getting cut open. So, oh man. But yeah, what's funny is I vented to my wife, to my daughter, to my mother, and to my sister about this. It's like, if they just listened, could get this taken care of sooner. But no one wanted to listen. And now I'm venting here again, and I'll keep you guys updated and see what happens. But other news, I've hooked back up my Wacom tablet to charge. I'm trying to get back into drawing and sculpting and stuff through ZBrush. I haven't used ZBrush in a long time. I still got it installed on my computer. So I'm going to try and do it. Try to get back in there and see what happens. And I bought a new range extender because the old one seemed to be having issues. And so far, so good. But yeah. There was something else that popped in my head, and I forgot what it was. I saw more people talking about Ironheart, and what it was that I've seen more and more people say what I said about watching it out of spite to all the hate the show's getting. And one guy was like, I don't even like the Marvel stuff, and he said he watched it just because of all the hate, and he ended up liking the show, so the hate worked. And then I guess people are hating on Superman as well, calling it woke. And these are all the people who loves, all the haters, all the racist people were loving Superman. Then they found out the new Superman is too woke. It's like, what? And basically it sounds like Superman just being Superman. And apparently they made Superman weaker. But I was thinking, there are different versions of Superman. This is just another version. There are godlike Superman and the weak version of Superman. So there are multiple versions of Superman. There's a Superman where he plays baseball. I think there's one where he plays football. So on and so forth. So, yeah, there's different versions of Superman. This is just another version. Now, I have no desire to see any DC live action movies, to be honest with you. Just because they haven't been that good. I haven't seen any of the new Batman stuff either, because, again, no desire to see it. I know a lot of people like the Patterson Batman, but I don't know. Something about that is it's not my Batman. It's not for me. It's for everyone else, but I just have no desire to see it. I heard it was good, but there's something about it. And that's like Titanic. So many people, Titanic. It's like, nah, I'm good. What is that, like 3 hour movie? It's like, I have no desire to watch a romance that's 3 hours long. So, yeah, I won't be watching that either. I have no desire to see it. And there's just a lot of movies where I'll see it, the trailer, and I'm just like, I'm good, you know? And I'll hear people talking about, like, grown men who don't like romance love this movie. They were crying. I was like, first off, I don't find that. I think you're lying. I'll be honest with you. You're lying. I never believe. Every time I would hear it, I was like, you're lying. I guarantee this guy watches romance movies. That's not calling him weak or anything. It's like, I guarantee this is a person who watches romance movies. You're just trying to amp it up or sell it, you know. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to watch those movies, go for it. I, on the other hand, have no desire to watch those movies. Now, Superman, if it comes on TV on like HBO Max, I'll watch it then, you know. But until then, I have no desire to watch it. But oh my God, my mind shut down. Again, all that's another thing. That's a side effect to everything that's wrong with me, is my memory, my mind. I wander off so much. So all this time I thought I might have ADHD. And here it might be all these chemical imbalances is causing me to have basically ADHD. Because I was going to request to get tested for ADHD. But now I'm going to hold off on that. With all the side effects of these hormone imbalances that I have, it could just be that. Because my mom was reading about some of the mental side effects. Like people will have highs and lows. Basically like depression, you'll have highs and lows. And I was like, I have that. I have moments where I have bursts of energy and I got to go and I got to do stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I can't focus. I can't do this, but I can do all this, but I can't do this. It's like, I have all that mentally, you know. It's like, could that be my problem? Maybe I don't have ADHD. Maybe I just have a hormonal imbalance. It's so I'm going to hold off on getting tested for ADHD and see where it leads me. But yeah, it's just like, I'm encouraging people to speak up when it comes to your medicine, when it comes to your medical health, and to your mental health. Speak up and speak loud. And I need you to remember something very, very important when it comes to your medical provider. You can fire them at any point. Let me say that again. You can fire them at any point. You're paying them, not the other way around. You are paying them, not the other way around. You can fire them at any point and move on and get someone else. Even with the crappiest of insurance, you can go someplace else most of the time. But yeah, don't think you can't get rid of that doctor or that nurse practitioner or whoever you're seeing. You have the right to switch. If they try to talk you out of it, that means they've done something and they're trying to cover their asses. Get the hell out of there before they kill you. Seriously. I think I'm becoming more and more an advocate for patient rights and patient advocacy. You know, you got to speak up. You got to speak up loud, proud, and clear. You know, almost like the whole gay rights movement. You know, but yeah, speak up, speak loud, and be heard. You know, make them hear you. I'm not saying get violent, but I'm not saying like, you know, scream at them, but speak up. You know, and make sure you're speaking in a tone that they understand. Cut the bullshit. Yeah, this is my life. Let's find out what's wrong and fix it. And yeah. So wish me luck on having more stuff wrong. So that way maybe they'll go in and find a tumor. So wish for a tumor is basically what it comes down to. So they can go in and remove it and fix me. Because the tumor, if they remove that tumor, that fixes, I think, like 90% of the stuff that's wrong with me. It'll fix my blood pressure. It'll fix my potassium. It'll fix all the hormone imbalances. It could fix what I thought was ADHD. It could fix my depression. It could probably fix my potassium. You see what I mean? It'll fix all that if it turns out there's a tumor or just my stuff is jacked up. So I wonder if I could take cortisol replacement. I wonder if that would fix it. Is cortisol and some sports medicines, like over the counter stuff people take, like diet pills. Because there are times when I would take that stuff and I would feel fine. I need to research that. Maybe that's why I felt fine. Oh, I was thinking energy drinks. I want all the vitamins that are in energy drinks and stuff. I mean, overall, they're not good for you. But I wonder if that's why I felt normal when I drank those stuff. When I drank them. Because if I drank enough of them, I felt normal. It's hard to explain. Like, my mind was focused. I didn't have as many voices going on in my head. So, yeah, I may have to look at that. I may have to see if there's like a cortisol replacement therapy or something. And that might be the answer. If it turns out I have to take medicine the rest of my life, now I'm going to look into that. So is there like cortisol replacement therapy or something? Some medicine I can take to replace the cortisol levels to get them back up? Because if I probably get those up, that would fix everything else. All right, this is probably going to be a short one, but I'm advocating for you to speak up and speak for yourself. And I know it's hard for fat people to do because a lot of fat people I know get to a point where they're just like, screw it. And so it's hard for them to speak up when it comes to the medical health. But you need to speak up. There may actually be something wrong other than, just being lazy. Especially if you've honestly tried. If you've honestly tried and it's just not coming off, go see a doctor. Have them run every test. Have them check your hormones. You never know. Your hormones could be out of whack, and because they can signal something else is wrong. And that's why I kept pushing, because like, I'm not losing this weight. I've stopped going to the gym because of it. It's like, because I wasn't losing the weight. And it's like, something's wrong. There's no way in hell. I've been coming here for a year and a half, and the weights are getting lighter. So I'm definitely doing something right there. But yet, the weight's not coming off. Like, I can lift, I was getting heavier with the weights, but the weight wasn't coming off. It's like, and I'm starving myself. You could literally hear my stomach growling. I was so hungry. And I'm just pushing myself, getting faster on the treadmill, increasing the incline, but yet no weight is coming off. So something is definitely wrong. And now I got the proof, and I can't wait. So please pray for me to have a tumor that can be removed and everything fixes itself. All right, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.